So, just to introduce myself, if you've not seen one of my videos before, my name is Michael Wheat. I am the owner of Ponds by Michael Wheat. We are a swimming pond build specialist. I've now been going for about 16 years, feels like 50, but about 16 years. We have currently built about £30 million worth of projects across all of the UK. I would say we've worked on thousands of ponds since we've become a company, and we've now built hundreds of swimming ponds. So when I give these pointers and these bits of advice, it's coming from a huge amount of experience. Now, there's people that have been doing it longer than me, without doubt, but maybe not have done the amount that we've done. And the one thing about when you do lots of one particular area is you make so many mistakes, spend so much money getting it right, that you learn pretty sharply. So a sharp learning curve over the years, which has brought me to where the company is today. We currently have a couple of teams out there building projects all the time. We probably build something between 2 and 4 swimming ponds a month. That's how much work we actually get through. So lots of experience, lots of different types of projects, and hopefully this is going to help this topic. So I know how important making this decision is, and I want to just try and help people. Now, we're not the only company that builds swimming ponds, and there's other great companies out there. So from the point of view of this video, yes, obviously I'd love everyone to come to me, but I do understand there are other companies that do it as well, and other companies that run similar systems to us, and I think they also give their clients great products. So I would just want to encourage people to invest their money wisely, I suppose, in a swimming pond sense, if you like. So the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted to go on to the 3 most common mistakes I see people make before they actually have a swimming pond built. The first mistake is they believe that it's going to be more cost effective than a swimming pool. And what we get is we get quite a lot of people surprised that cost-wise they're actually quite similar. And in some cases, swimming ponds are even more. Well, one thing I would say is, generally speaking, swimming ponds you have bigger. So there's more water, there's more construction involved. So that's hence why the cost is sometimes higher. And a lot of the build is actually very similar. Block work, concrete, lining, filtration. So there isn't really any reason they would be cheaper, but I understand that sometimes assume that it might be. So that's one of the pitfalls I see a lot of people make. The second one, and I think this is quite a crucial one, is who they plan to get to design a swimming pond. So we get involved in all different stages of build. So predominantly where we start is we're a design company, we help design the project right. And sometimes they've got the garden designer to design it. Now, absolutely nothing against that. We've worked with some super garden designers. And when I say garden designers, I mean landscape architects, I mean architects, all of that design framework. Sometimes they'll draw out a simple shape and they'll go, yeah, that's a swimming pond. But the reality is the practicalities around how that actual project works. And the reason why I feel so confident in my company over any of those type of companies, because whenever we work with one of those companies, they go, oh yeah, I've had one client that's had one before, or a couple of my clients have had them installed. Well, we're doing 2 to 4 a month. So the experience level is so different. And the bit we're really able to add lots of value in is things like planning. So for example, when we do planning for our clients, every single planning we've put through, we've got approved. And it comes up quite often, do I need to have planning for my project, etc. And a lot of the time they do need planning. And the good thing with using a company like us is we'll handle it all. We deal with the council, we put the planning application in, we deal with the questions, we deal with the ecologists, and I've pretty much dealt with everything. Great crested newts, grade 2 listed, ANOB, natural beauty, green belt. So we've pretty much dealt with every single type you could imagine when it comes to planning. And the reality is we've got them all passed. So we've never had a project that's not got passed on planning. So very experienced in that very specific area of pond only. And what I would recommend is, if you're having an extension done, having a new build house done, or whatever you might be also looking at putting through planning, is just get the pond done separately. The process time, if you just put the pond in, it's done in 6 weeks, generally speaking. The problem where there's difficulties is when they try and mix it with other things and then it just gets diluted and then doesn't happen. So one of the things I would greatly say is using a professional company like mine that could actually put the planning through and get the planning done. So the other one is, that I hear quite often is, well, we'll just get somebody local. Now, I'm going to be really frank about this, and I would say that I'm known for being very direct. And when someone says, I want someone local to do it, generally what they mean, not all the time, but generally what they mean is, I want somebody cheaper. Okay, so let me just explain my point of view on that one. Ultimately, you can get it built by somebody locally, and somebody locally might be good at doing it. Most of the local companies that will have a go at building a swimming pond have probably built 1 or 2 swimming ponds. That's the reality, a year. When we're building 2 to 4 a month, the difference in knowledge base is completely different. So what might happen is they may have not made some of the mistakes because they haven't just built enough quantity to understand the little tiny things that matter in a swimming pond. And I always say, what we do as a company, it's a sum of all its parts. I can't just give somebody a shopping list and go, right, here's how you build a swimming pond. It's not as simple as a shopping list. It's the sum of all its parts of how it works together, how things are positioned, the direction of things work. And when you look at, if you was to come down to my office and see the amount of work my design team and operations team go into putting every project together, this is not just a simple thing that one man and his band can create. And I truly believe that we wouldn't have got to the stage we've got to in business if we wasn't able to continuously deliver great projects. I'm not saying that our projects don't come without flaws or don't come without issues, but I think the strength of somebody like us is that we're set up to deal with them and we're set up to get better all the time. And when someone says, well, yeah, but you're not local, but I always say, what does local mean? Because ultimately, we work in people's back gardens, and if I just go from last year, we did a job in Scotland last year, we did a job in Cornwall, we've done a job in Norfolk, we've done a job in Bristol area, South Wales, we've done south of London, middle of London, Milton Keynes, we did a job in Northampton, we did a job in Leicestershire. So we've worked Yorkshire, we worked all over the country last year, and we have done for the past 15 years. So we've got a lot of experience in the logistics side of that. And what it means is that we can get our quality people that are employed, not self-employed, employed by me, to go out and deal with clients and help clients get the best from their projects. And I do believe that that makes a massive difference. And I think here's the other thing. When you've got the amount of experience that we've got as a company delivering these type of projects, the one thing that we're able to say is we're able to define what that swimming pond is. And I think there's a genuine issue where people go, I just want a swimming pond, and then a pond builder that lives locally just says, yeah, I can build a swimming pond, I can do that. It's just put a liner in, put a bit of gravel in, put plants in, and that's all you have to do. I wish it was that simple. I wish it was that simple, you just put an air pump in and it will work long term. The thing that I've always believed in firmly is that when our clients invest in us, they don't just invest in the build, it's what happens after the build, the support they get, the knowledge that we're able to educate them on to help them get the most out of their project, and that we're solely a swimming pond installation company. And I think that makes a massive difference when it comes to the quality of what you're left with after. And I would say, talking about the mistakes people make, I think it's just buying on price is quite simply it. He's just going, okay, well, I found a company that'll do it for 80,000 and you want 140,000. Let's just throw weird numbers out there. The reality is you wouldn't knowingly buy a Bentley for 80,000 if you knew there's potentially issues with the engine. But you would pay 140 knowing that it's new and it's got warranty on it. And that's kind of the difference with what we are. You buy a project from us, 5 years warranty, the equipment's warranted. If you get a problem with the pump after 3 years, we come out and sort it. We're able to offer maintenance to make it easy for you. And we've got that backlog of success stories after success story of delivering what we do as a company. And the other thing is, as the owner of the business, I'm here. Like if clients want to see me, I go out and see them. If they want support, if they want to speak to me, no problem. I fully believe in what we do as a company and I want to do my best to deliver that for my clients. Using somebody with not so much experience might seem cheaper up front, but it's the long-term cost of then having to change it. And the reason why I know that so passionately is we do retrofits. So if you go on my website, you'll see there's a swimming pond section which deals with swimming pond problems. And these are all the problems I've found on the old way of building them, the traditional way of building them, if you like, with the big reed beds in. And the problems that they have, so like the fact that they don't handle silt very well, so they also have a lot of silt on the bottom of them. The fact that over time blanket weed just becomes out of control and there's no way of controlling it. The fact that there is a real question mark over how safe they are long term, particularly if things like E. coli get in the water. So we go and retrofit our system onto them. And we've done retrofits up to £100,000 on some ponds. Generally they're around 30 to 50, but some of them can go, obviously, if they're bigger. And I'd kind of like to save people that trouble up front and just us install the whole project and it's done right from word go. And that's one of the benefits I believe we offer as a company. So not only are we installing them, but we're actually correcting other installs by putting something on that gives it longevity. So the proof's in the pudding there. Like if we're not just installing them, but we're also improving ones that weren't done right in the first place. And I think that's a real proof and strength of the company and what it delivers. So here's another one on what I think is a really important part of the whole process of buying a swimming pond. So to me, this is a major investment for anybody. You know, we generally start from 75,000. The average install we do as a company is 150,000. We've done installs up to 500,000, beyond 500,000. We've done 300,000, 400,000, 200,000, and we've done projects at 80,000, 90,000, 100,000. So we've done like a huge, vast area of different size projects. But every project we do, we treat the same internally. So we take them all through we do a survey, and there is a design process that we go through. Now, this is my personal belief, and lots of people will not agree with me, and that's fine. This is just what I think, and this is the core culture belief that I have in the business. I believe if you're going to invest a significant amount of money, I think it says a lot about the company you choose by how they value their time. And I think if someone's prepared to put in a huge amount of time for free on the basis that you might go ahead, to me, they're just going to be busy doing might go ahead all the time. Okay. One of the things we do as a company is me or Tim will first go out and meet the client, but then after that, there's a design process that needs to happen, which is paid for. Once that's paid, we then get on with that process. So we'll come out and meet you, we'll come out and build a rapport, and hopefully we'll both mutually agree that we're good working for each other, and then we can build the project together. And then we'll have this design process, like I said, that's paid for. Well, to me, that's a professional service. That's what you expect your architect to do, you've got a designer to do, and we're no different. We're going to design this project properly. We're going to design it from the ground up, and we're going to help you understand it completely before you order it. Okay, and before you book in the install with us. So this isn't on the back of a fag packet. This isn't just a guesswork. This is actually done with a proper process that we've done now on over £30 million worth of installs. And that's how we create a unique system where we keep delivering success after success. But to do that, there has to be a cost to that process because it is a lot of internal work for us as a company. So my personal belief is, if you was to call a company up and they just go, yeah, I'll come out and see you, I don't know what that says about that person's company. So you call my company, you speak to Abby on the phone generally first. Abby then book in a Zoom with Gemma. Once Gemma's explained the process, they'll book me or Tim out to come and meet the client. We'll then go and do a survey, we'll discuss the project, we'll spend a couple of hours, maybe even longer sometimes, going through all the different options, what the estimated costs will be. And then if we're both happy at that stage, then we carry on with the design process. And then obviously the core is to get to the build. There's a proper process in place to making sure that you're selecting the right company and we're selecting the right client. It has to be a joint mutual thing. So we're not right for everybody and everybody's not right for us. And I think that's the fairest way of putting it. So you might, and we're not the only company that runs that type of system. So there are a few of the other bigger companies out there that also do a lot of design work before they go, right, that's the cost of the build, or this is what you've got to do to go forwards. And I believe that's essential. I think if you're spending £150,000 plus, or even £90,000 plus, or even £50,000 plus, there has to be something tangible there to go, that's definitely what I'm getting. And when I see the quality of work that my team put into all the projects operationally, but also from design, I know how much great value that it is. So I understand you're probably really excited about getting your swimming pond project built, and hopefully before you've picked up that phone and called any company, you've watched this video. Hopefully you pick mine. If you pick another one, so be it. But hopefully you get exactly what you're looking for, an awesome swimming pond in your back garden you can use again and again and be a huge change to your life and your family's life. Thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to meeting you soon.